Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's video we're going to have a bit of a long one. I'm finally getting around to ranking all my Colourpop palettes. I have 87. That's pretty excessive. Do I need that many palettes? No. Do you need that many palettes? No. But hey, I like Colourpop and I'll keep buying them. Yeah, I have purchased all of these palettes with my own money. It would be amazing to get free Colourpop, but hey, that's life. So yeah, I'm not going to talk too much. Basically, these are ranked on what I like. These are mine, it's my collection. You can disagree with me, that is fine. Most of it is ranked on colour story. If I'm going to wear it, I'm pretty boring when it comes to makeup and eyeshadow. I'm not really big into colours, but it is fun to play around with sometimes. So, yep, not too much on formula because we know Colourpop are pretty good with their formula. And packaging. They have some great packaging and that always plays a part. So I'm not going to ramble on too much. My piles here are probably going to fall down. So I do have a list so that I can refer back to if my piles fall down. But as I say, I'm not going to ramble on too much. I'm not going to swatch any of these because we'd be here all night. I won't talk too much about each individual palette. Some I will, some I won't. But basically we're just going to kick in and get going. So in 87 we have a little 5-pan. It's called Colour Vision. Obviously I got this in a mystery box, a fairly recent mystery box. It is pretty. Hey, all Colourpop palettes are pretty. It's just pretty basic with a pop of bright pink. Bright pink, yeah, not for me. If I, one day, if I was looking for a bright pink, this would be the one I'd go to. But yeah, number 87. 86, just to let you know, I will probably run out of lose count of where we are, so we'll just deal with it. This is a little quad called On the Mango. It is really pretty. It is pretty. Just something I would not wear. I know a lot of people like these sort of shades here. Again, it was in a mystery box, and yep, nothing really else to say. On the Mango. 85, we have another 5-pan, another mystery box one, another one of these in the neon collections. This one is called Moon Haze. I don't know why I keep looking down at my list for the names. It's written on the back of the palette. But yeah, Moon Haze, it's a lot more wearable than the other one with the bright pink. It's sort of just got this sort of muted orangey pinky shade. And I know a lot of people were a bit disappointed with this neon collection because if you were after neons and as the packaging, it looks neon and they're not really. So Moon Haze. 84, we have another quad. This is Bare It All. This is all mattes. Yeah, I like to have a variety of shimmers, mattes. You can make a nice matte look. You can make a nice look with this, let's be honest. It's just, to me, it's a bit boring. You can get these shades 100 times over. And yep, that's it. Next, 83, our first 9-pan. It's Main Squeeze. I got this recently. If you watched my last video, you would have seen me get this, and you will also know that it's quite red, it's quite bright. To me, it's quite intimidating. It is pretty. I love the packaging with this sort of watermelon in it. Reminds me of summer. Yeah, this shade up here, Juicy Fruity. It is really pretty. This palette is pretty, just not one I'm going to wear all that often. 82, we have Down to Earth, another quad. We are flying through this video, that is great. Yep, another all matte. This one just rates a little bit higher than the other one because it does have a black, and I think you can just sort of make a matte smokier eye with this. And this is a good staple palette to have if you were lacking other shades in a palette. You know, you could reach for this and have a sort of rich brown and a dark black. So if you have a light palette and want some darker colours, yeah, that would be fine. So that was Down to Earth. That was 82. Sorry for looking down so much. 81 is Free to Be. Here we go, another quad, nothing too exciting, nothing all too much to say. Another matte. This is sort of your everyday basics mattes. It's got light and it's pretty medium shades with the light. There's nothing too deep in there. So, yep, Free to Be. Number 80, we have a 12 pan, we have In the Springs. This is a really pretty palette. The reason it's ranked down so low is I do have a broken shade, this shade here. And I find when things are broken, for me, I don't use them so much, they scare me, it gets everywhere, it makes a mess. So anyway, that's 80, In the Springs. 79, we have another quad, not too much to say. This one does have a really nice shimmer in it, so it rates a bit higher than the All Mattes. Yep, these quads, they all kind of look the same, don't they? Brown neutral quads. 79. 78, this is a 5 pan, this is called Cashmere Forever. Nice purples. Yeah, Cashmere Forever. What else do I say? It's pretty. 77, this might be a bit controversial, but it is Truly Madly Deeply. I know when this one was released, they said it had a lot of their most popular shades all put into a palette, popular singles. I just find this one difficult to make a cohesive look with. I don't know what to do with it. It's pretty. There are a lot of glitters, but I just find it a bit disconjointed. You know, yeah, it's hard for me to make look. 76, In a Trance. This was one of their tie-dye collection. It's the only one I have. I think it's pretty. I haven't played around with it all too much. The pastels, it is pretty. It is different. I don't have anything else like this in my collection. So, yep, 76, In a Trance. 75, we have Clear the Air. I actually really liked these in the clear. These 9 pans, little 9 pans in this clear packaging. They're very soft though, but I like that there are different textures. There's some mattes, there's some shimmers, they also have some super shocks in there. I just have better palettes, hence it ranking down so much, so 75. Sorry, I'm placing them carefully down here, so yeah. 74, Barbie. I'm not a big Barbie fan. I didn't play with Barbies a lot when I was little, so this isn't really my cup of tea, but it is pretty, and I will use this, and I have used this. I just think there are a lot of pretty shades in here. Again, I don't wear a lot of blues. I don't wear a lot of pinks. Wasn't big into Barbie, so that's why it's ranked a bit lower. Next, we have the Holidays, the Muppet collection that came out a few Christmases ago. I think it was 2. So again, we have some, it does suit the Muppet theming well. I mean, when I look at it, I can see the pinks, I can think Miss Piggy, I see the greens, I think Kermit. The packaging is great. It's just not my favourite palette. 72, we're into one of the, what do you call them? The single colour palettes. The word will come to me, I'll be annoyed. So this is just my luck. It's all greens. Be a great palette for St. Patrick's Day. Don't wear a lot of greens. This is really pretty though. Yeah. Just my luck. And in the same vein, On Cloud Blue. Just ranks slightly higher than Just My Luck because I prefer blues. And as you can see, this is still pretty new to me. Still has its packaging. I like keeping packaging. I feel like it keeps them safe. So it is pretty. I will wear this. I do like it. On Cloud Blue, which was 71. So number 70, again with the clear singles. I've got to be careful with this one because this top shade, it was actually out of its pan when I got it. This one, by the way, is called Coast Is Clear. So yeah, I'll try not to hold it up too much because this shade will fall out. As you can see, the palette is messy. It's fallen out several times today and got absolutely everywhere, but it is pretty. These are pretty palettes. Coast Is Clear. 69, another 5 pan. This one is called Lyric. This is just a really good basic 5 pan. I just find with these 4 and 5 pan palettes, it's sort of a one and done look. You're not going to get multiple looks out of these, but they are good. The formula is good. They're just a little bit boring. So Lyric. 68, another quad. This one's called Plum and Get It. Most of these 4 and 5 pans I have got in mystery boxes, and they are nice to get in mystery boxes, you know, no complaints, just again, a little bit boring. This one's a little bit of your sort of darker purple, so Plum and Get It. Sorry, my pile just fell down if you heard that. 67, another quad, peach please. Not too much to say. It is pretty. You know, if you wanted a everyday sort of go to work look, get it out of this little quad. That was peach please. 66, witching hour. I was never too big into Hocus Pocus, so it's ranked down here. It's a pretty palette. I'm sure everyone loves it. It's just, I find this very similar to another one of my bigger palettes, the colours, except that one has more variety, and as I said, I'm not that big into colours, so hence it's ranking down a bit lower. It is a good palette though, no complaints. So witching hour. 65, we have another quad. This one is called Couplet. Really basic sort of neutrals, you know, lights to mediums, not really a deep shade, but what do you expect for 5 pans? It is pretty, and you do get a good look out of it. It's a couplet. 64, here we go, another quad. This one's called Creamsicle. This one just ranks a little bit higher than most of the others because it is sort of my colours. You know, I'm not scared of it. Wouldn't wear it a lot because I'll just reach into, you know, a 9 pan or something else, but it is pretty. Creamsicle. 63, we have the Fields. This is one of the 9 pans in the clear packaging. I think they released them for Ulta or Target. Not really sure. I'm in New Zealand, Colourpop's in America. I picked this up on special to, you know, get over the $60 free shipping, international free shipping. It is pretty, and I'm sure there'll be nothing wrong with it. I'm not too sure about the clear packaging with the 9 pans. I don't think the formula is as good as some of the older ones, so hence it's ranking a bit lower, but that is the Fields. 62, we have one of their monochromatic. There's the word monochromatic. I was looking for it earlier. So we have Baby Got Peach. Pretty palette. It is really pretty. Shame about the press glitter. Although I don't mind the press glitters, I do prefer the newer formula where it's a bit finer. The glitter's a bit, you know, finer. It's not so chunky. I know that there are eye safety warnings around them. So, but look at this palette. It's pretty. It's just reminds me sort of a spring, you know, autumn, spring. Probably getting my seasons wrong, but that's when I'd wear these sorts of shades. So, Baby Got Peach. 61, the first mega palette, Play It Jewel. I actually bought this palette, not this one particularly, but a few years ago my sister moved in. She flats with me. She loves bright eyeshadows. I bought this for her as a Christmas present. She loved it. She got a lot of use out of it, and then I got it in a mystery box last year. So it is pretty. You just look at it and look at the packaging. Isn't it gorgeous? Just again, colours. I won't get a lot of the use out of it. There is a lot of neutrals in there, which makes it a bit more wearable to me. And I do sometimes, you know, pop a blue on the lid or something. So Play It Jewel. Number 60, another quad, Sorbet. You know, they're just quads. It is pretty. This one's ranking higher because it's just more wearable to me. More everyday looks. So Sorbet. 59, Clearly in Love. This should be the last of these little 9 pans for me. I do think they're pretty. I get really pretty looks out of them. I do enjoy them. As I say, I love that there's super shocks in them. I like that this one sort of has a darker brown. And there's just a good little variety of colours in here. So I do like these. I just like other palettes better. So Clearly in Love. 58, here we go, a quad, Silver Spoon. I've obviously been getting a lot of quads in mystery boxes. This one's just a little bit more smoky. It's a little bit more grey. It's a little bit different to the others that were very same. So not much to say, Silver Spoon. 57, Whatever. Nice 12 pan palette. I just find this, again, sort of like Main Squeeze, but more wearable. Just the reds. What do you do with them? You know, you don't want to look like you've sort of had a hard night or a bit of bruising. This one does have, you know, you can blend it out a bit more. There is some more wearable colours in there. But again, I just have better palettes. And hey, this is my palette ranking. So if I want to rank this at number 57, I can. 56 Limoncello. The formula in this palette is amazing. The packaging in this palette is beautiful, but I just find it's a little bit mismatched for me. Where's the lemon? Does it really scream limoncello? I mean, I guess limoncello is a drink, but you know, the packaging on the front, it doesn't really speak to what's inside. I mean, you've got one blue, you know, but it is pretty, and you do get a good amount of looks in there. And yeah, I know there's a lot of people that really like this palette. 55. Back to our quads. Man, now, how many quads do you have? This one, by the way, is called Citrus Fizz. Again, it's just really nice shimmers in here. That's why it's ranked where it is. Citrus Fizz. 54. SIU Baby. This one's ranked where it is because it's pretty. Prettier than the other quads that have come before it, because it is purples. I don't wear a lot of purples, but purples are just pretty to look at. Look at it. It's pretty. And that shimmer is stunning. So that was SIU Baby. Okay, 53. We have a 5-pan. This is Ballad. I got these in, I think, my first mystery box. No, actually, I'm sorry. I got these Ballad in my first ever Colourpop order. I got some freebies, and these were one of the freebies. I do wear them. They are a good everyday, you know, these are good for travelling. The quads are good for travelling. I do a bit of travelling, so sometimes it's just good to know what you're going to get. You're going to put this in your bag. You know what look you're going to get with it. Apart from that, yeah, it was a good freebie. 52. Here we go with another quad. This one's called Cream Soda. Again, travel friendly, get a good look out of it. You know what you're going to get. Cream Soda. Okay, where are we up to? 51. I told you I was going to get lost. I told you I was going to get my numbers lost. So at 51 is Getting Fresh. Just a big mega palette. I love the mega palettes. I'm a sucker for them. This one, I looked at it when it first came out, I really liked it. Then the more I thought about it, I was like, now do you really need that palette? I don't know about the greens. Is it fresh? It could be more fresh. There are a lot of neutrals in it. It's very repetitive with other mega palettes, just with some greens in it. So that is why it's ranked a bit lower in my numbers, because I just think there are better colour stories. It is repetitive. The greens throw me a bit, which I guess are fresh, but that's what makes this one slightly different to the rest, is a few greens. So that was number 51. So number 50 is Off Melrose. Got this in a mystery box. I'd seen it in mystery boxes and I was like, I want that in a mystery box. I had to wait a few mystery boxes before I finally got it. Is it the best? No. Is it the most exciting? No, but it is a good everyday palette. You can get a lot of looks out of it. It's a good palette. So number 50, Off Melrose. 49, we have Flutterby. Look at the packaging on this. Just how beautiful is that? The reason this is ranked in number 49 is just this glitter. I just find it a little bit chunky. It is pretty. It is a pretty palette. It's just, there are better. And I just find I've got these colours multiple times over in my Colourpop palette. So number 49. 48. Just when we thought we were done with the quads and the 5-pans, no, this one's called Poem. Potentially Flutterby should have probably been ranked higher than this. This ranking took me a long time to rank. I had to pull everything out, lay it on my bed, look at it, think some more. So yeah, this is pretty though. It is a good, you know, good palette. Poem. Okay. 47. This is my favourite card. This is called Feelin' Coconutty. This is just a good little staple travel palette. You know, you've got this really nice shimmer in here. Still good light blending transition shade. something a bit deeper, and then you've got a really deep brown, you can get a good little look out of this palette. You know, even if you just want to wear mattes, even if you just want to put one shade this blended all over your eye, you're going to look good together. My favourite quad, feeling coconutty. And that, of course, was number 47. You guys are probably keeping up better than me. 46. Daisy Does It. Another pretty palette. I do like this inclusion of Super Shocks in here. Don't really have too much to say about it. A lot of neutrals, bit of a yellow in there, some sort of khaki green, khaki brown. So Daisy Does It. 46. 45, Heavy Petal. I got this at the end of last year when they had a whole bunch of 12 pans on special. In hindsight, I thought this looked really pretty. When I got it, I was a little bit disappointed with it. Not what I expected. Yeah, Heavy Petal. It is nice. It is pretty. Let's not, you know, there's nothing negative to say about it. I just thought it was going to be better. 44, Last for Dusk. This is a good palette. Sort of takes me back to sort of 90s grungy. Sorry, plastic. It's reflecting. But again, it's just, it doesn't look cohesive. It's sort of a bit mismatched. You know, what do you want to get? You are going to get some variety out of here. You are going to get, you know, different looks. But yeah, I just think that there's better. But this is a good palette. 43, Golden Hour. I got this really recently. Was I a little bit disappointed? Yes, I was. It's just a neutral palette, very light. I don't, you know, there are some darkish shades. I wish that there was like a really rich dark brown. It's a little bit boring. It is a nice palette. I will use this. This is my type of palette. Yes, it is, but I just have lots of other my types of palettes. So it's ranked down in number 39 because it was just a little bit boring. Colourpop, you missed the mark. It's not that golden, and for one of your newer releases you could have done better. Hmm. 38, I found it. Sorry guys, that it was lost in the bottom of the pile. My piles must have fallen down and I've stacked it up wrong. This is Pretty Please. Again, brought this when the 12 pans were on special at the end of last year. This is really pretty. It does have its Super Shocks in there. It's just a bit pink. It's, you know, there's not too much depth in it, but it is pretty. But that's Pretty Please. Number 38. Over the page we go. 37, Very Well. I wanted Very Well and Enchanted for such a long time, and they kept selling out, and I finally got them, and I was like, you know what, it's nothing special. It's a nice palette. Packaging is really pretty. This sort of whimsical forestry, you know, goes with the title, but just a bit thrown. Did it really need 2 glitters in there? You know, it's only got 12 pans. I mean, as I say, I do use the glitters, but just not a lot. Yeah, so that was Very Well, number 37. 36, I love this palette, Wild Child. Actually, this is my original. I do have a second one now. Good deep browns, rich colouring. There are just others I like better. I wish it didn't have the glitter, hence there are other palettes that I will wear over this one, just because of that. It is a nice glitter, not bad. I do like this palette. I love the colour story, love the richness, and you'll get a really nice look out of it. Obviously, we're heading into the top half of the palettes now. I love these all. I love all my Colourpop palettes. I collect them. Do I want to get rid of them? No, it makes me happy. So 35, Set in Stone. This is one of 3 that came out a while ago. Colourpop released in this cardboard packaging, these little 10 pans. They do have sort of cream shades at the top. I think that they were duping, is it Patrick Tar that did these? I can't remember. You'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think these are nice palettes, nice neutral palettes. Good amount of, you know, variety in there with the textures. Some good mattes down the bottom. You've got good shimmers, and you can just use those creams to sort of prime your eyes. And I thought that they were good palettes, travel friendly, they're small, the packaging is good. Yeah, I like them. So that was Set in Stone, number 35. 34, we have my newest mega palette. This is Precious Metals. Got this recently. It just doesn't scream metals to me. You know, where's the metals? It just sort of feels repetitive. It feels like they've done this before. I do like the packaging, although it's a bit reflective. I'm sure you're going to be seeing all sorts in it. But I do love Colourpop mega palettes, let's be honest. You get so many looks out of them. I know some people don't like megas, but I do. Yeah, that's about it. So Precious Metals. That was number 34. 33, we have Lilac You A Lot. How pretty is this? Again, it's purple. It's pretty to look at. Comes with a mirror. These old 9 pans in this plastic packaging. I know they're older, but they're good. The formulas are good. No complaints. Just a nice light variety of purples. I know some of them do tend to go pink and wear pink. They're sort of red-based purples rather than true purples, but it is pretty. You know, look how pretty it is. Lilac You A Lot. That's number 33, and I do lilac you a lot. 32, Coaster Coral. One of my first Colourpop palettes. Very coral, and it's just, it's a nice palette. You know, there's just better. And number 31, again, High Tide. Beautiful packaging. I think this is such a nice palette. I grew up near the sea, and this just takes me back. It reminds me of my childhood. Is it a palette I wear a lot? No, but I can get pretty looks out of it. And if I do want to wear these beautiful tealy blue shades, this is what I'm going to grab. It just melts my heart. There's just something about it. It takes me back. And there's good variety. There's light shades, there's transition shades, there's depth in it. It is just pretty. So yeah, that is High Tide. Number 30, Glow Getter. This is these little, is it insect collection? This was a good collection. I actually really like these. I got some of them in mystery boxes, and they were surprising. I can't remember what one I got first, but I remember wearing it and being like, this is actually a really nice palette. I like it. So yeah, that is Glow Getter, number 30. We're moving in to the 20s now. We're shooting through this. So pretty packaging. 29, the other one from the other collection of Fairy Well. This is Enchanted. This one ranks higher because it has purples. The packaging is almost the same but purple, you know, but it is pretty. And as I say, I wanted these for a long time. They kept selling out, and then I finally got them, and I was like, yay. I haven't worn them a lot. I don't wear a lot of purples. I have a lot of purples, but I just think it's so pretty to look at. Hence, it's ranking higher. It is 29, Enchanted. 28, we have Rock On. This is rich. This is, you know, rich sort of reds. It's very similar to a mega palette they have, but in a smaller format. I don't have the mega palette yet. This is Rock On. There's just some great sort of reddy browns in here. It is nice. I just think there's better. You know, rocks don't just come in one sort of colour. So 28, Rock On. 27, how pretty is Making Mauves? How many people have Making Mauves? Mauves are just a good wearable colour. It's just so universal. It's, you know, this is a pretty palette. I'll get a lot of use out of this. Even though it might not look it, I do wear this a lot. 27. 26, Twist of Slate again, the little cardboard 10 pans with the cream. I've just dug my finger into that one. So yeah, just looks a bit more used now, a little bit more rustic. It was nice and soft actually to put my finger in. Twist of Slate, again, I love these. I think they're good palettes. You're going to get a lot of varieties. You know, if you just want a 2-shade look, you just put the shimmer on the lid and blend it out with the matte. You get, look at the depth in there. You can go from light, and you've got some mediums. I just think this is a good, well-rounded palette. It's a shame that they don't sell these anymore. I would recommend them. That is Twist of Slate. 26, 25, feeling bubbly. These were little, I guess, bubbles themed. It's just a nice palette. I love these sort of, you know, golds. It reminds me of bubbles. It just reminds me of opening a bottle of bubbly. The colours, you know, you've got some nice sort of muted pinks, some nice muted golds. I do like this collection. This was a nice collection, hence why these are starting to rank high. This is 25. 24 was a recent, I think end of last year release. This is Cloud 9. When I saw this on the website, I thought, this is pretty. This is a bit of me. It's nice with the sort of light blues and the greys and, you know, very sort of sky toned. I like when the shades are light. To me, that's wearable. I can go so deep, so smoky with the eyes very quick, you know, so it's nice to just have that something nice and light to work with. So Cloud 9. 24. 23. Beautiful mega palette, Rock Candy. It hurts me to have to rank some of these, and when I so low, to me 23 for this is low. It just means there's 22 better. When I was doing this ranking, it made me sad. I actually felt like I was hurting some of these palettes' feelings by ranking them low. It's like they can feel it, they've hurt their feelings. But look how pretty this is. To just think that there are palettes that I prefer more than this, it's insane. It just shows how good Colourpop is. I love the mega palettes. The variety you can get from this. You can get a nice bunch of cool tones, some nice greys, some nice silvers over here, some pinks, you know, some mauves. It's just some types. It's just a good all-rounded palette. It makes me excited, as you can tell. Rock Candy, it rocks. 22, another one of these lovely insect palettes. This is So Fly. This, I think, was the first one I ever got, I'm pretty sure, in a mystery box, and I wore it out to dinner the day I got it, and I just loved it. I was like, look at this look I've got with this. It's just different. There's nothing else like it, you know, in my collection. This green here, it's just such a beautiful colour. It's great formula. I like it. So that was 22. 21, the child. How cute is he? Is it Grogu? I don't really know his name. I'm not too big into Star Wars, but I kept seeing people just brag about this palette, about how pretty it was, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to try it, and I'm going to see what all the hype is about. And I tell you what, it's nice. I see what the hype is about. It's not really my colour story, but I went outside my comfort zone for this palette, and, you know, cutest in the galaxy, he is pretty cute. Just those sort of olive greens without being too much. It's a good, cute palette. I think we are now into the top 20. We are top 20. So number 20, Blush Crush, a good staple. You know, I'm sure you've all seen this palette. I'm sure a lot of you probably have it, and a lot of you probably love it. It's just a good palette. The formula in this is amazing. You're going to get beautiful looks with it. So I don't have too much else to say. Just Blush Crush. Number 20. 19, or kid you not, this took me a while to get this palette because, again, colour scares me, but purple is just so beautiful, and this is a rich purple palette. There is depth in there, and orchids are my favourite flowers, so really I had to have it, and really because of that it's going to rank high because it's orchids, it's purple, it's beautiful. Yeah, or kid you not. Number 19. 18 is 1111. Again, a recent-ish release, end of last year. It's just a good neutral palette. Nothing too exciting, but it suits me. This is me in a palette. I'm going to wear this, and I'm going to love it. There are others that I like better, obviously, because it's ranked 18, but it's good. Number 17. This is going to surprise a few of you. This is Plush Like Me. This palette it warms my heart. I got this in a mystery box. I got this in the first ever mystery box I bought from Colourpop. Must be 2 years ago now. And it made me realise that sometimes this is what is great about mystery boxes, is I wouldn't have looked on their website and I wouldn't have gone, hey, I like that palette, I'm going to buy it. But it surprised me. The formula is great. It has a mirror. It just takes me back to the 90s. There's something grungy. This velvet, this packaging, just everything about this just melts my heart. It's so close to my heart. I'm going to keep this forever. I might not wear it forever, of course, but just to think I got it in a colour, in a mystery box, and just for that, for the nostalgia of it being a surprise from my first mystery box, this is part of the reason I love Colourpop. This palette here, and it's just pretty, this packaging and everything. So plush like me. And if a palette makes you feel good, that's what it's about. That's what makeup's about. It's meant to be fun, and it's meant to bring you joy. Moving on. Felt like I rambled on about that plush like me for a while. Number 16. This is my favourite coloured palette. It's a mood. This is why Witching Hour was down lower in the ranking, because I feel the colours in there you get in here, but the way this is laid out, it's not scary. You can look at it and you can go, I want a nice purple look, I want a nice blue look, and I have worn this, and I've actually experimented with this palette, and I've been brave, and I've worn blue, and I've worn purple, and it's just pretty to look at. It's just, I mean, you don't really need the glitters in here, but you've got 30 shades. The formula is amazing in these large pans. This is a good palette. I would recommend this palette. And if you're going to have a coloured palette and you don't know what to get, just get this. You're going to have all the colours you want, and you're going to get a variety of looks. And even if you want neutrals, you've got it in that palette. Anyway, moving on. I have to find out where we're up to. There we go, number 15, the other one from the Bubble series. This is by the Rosé. I love this palette. It's just a little bit more weird, you know, there's the mauves, the pinks in here. I just like it a bit better than Feeling Bubbly. It's the formula in these are amazing, these two palettes. I'm glad I have them both. That's why they ranked higher, and because they are good. They're genuinely good. Okay. 14, my favourite of these insects. This is Wannabe. Again, this whole collection, these three palettes, Glow Getter, Wannabe, So Fly, or whatever it's called, they are good. The formula in these is amazing. Shame to see that I'm possibly getting a cracked shade, but there's just everything you want in a palette. In the packaging, just, you know, we love bees in this household. We just brings me joy. Just, yeah. 13, again, this hurts me that it's ranked at number 13, Smoke and Roses. Like, how do I have 12 palettes better than this? This is just, it's probably the palette I get the most use out of. If I, you know, just these pinks are just, they're just so nice. There's just so much variety you can get in here. The depth you can get with these, the lights, the mediums, the darks, it's just everything you need in a palette, and this is beautiful. Smoke and Roses. Number 13. Number 12, Nude Mood, a good neutral palette. It's just, the formula in these are amazing. You're going to love the looks you get out of this. They're good variety. You've got some lights, some mediums, some darks again. They're just well thought out, everyday staple palettes. This, you know, some of these palettes are just so well thought out. The formulas are great, no complaints. So that was Nude Mood, and that was number 12. Number 11, I wanted this one for so long. It kept selling out. It kept restocking. I'd go get it. Would sell it out again. This is Troublemaker. The thing is sometimes I see palettes, but I want them to be on special, or I want it to be an extra to get me, you know, when they release a mystery box and they're $49 and the free international shipping is $60. It's like, well, I'm going to chuck a palette in there to get me over that rather than pay pretty much the same price in shipping. So this, I finally got it. Troublemaker, just, this formula in this is so good. There's just some depth, some smokiness, some richness, and I'm just so happy that I finally have it. I love these sort of smoky, grungy colours. The packaging, you know, yeah, it's good. I'm glad to finally have it in my collection. So that was Troublemaker. We're into the top 10 now. Top 10. We did it. We're finally on the home straight. 87 palettes, and now we're in the top 10. This is going to surprise people that this is ranking so high. Wild Nothing. I know it's quite a light palette. There isn't that depth in there, but this is my most worn. I know what I'm going to get with this. I just love blending this shade putting the shade all over the lid, blending it out. You've got a quick everyday look. Or if, you know, I can go this sort of greeny colour. I love that it's light. The reason I love this palette is probably the reason why some people rank it down, because it is light. But again, I like it for an everyday. I like that it's light. I like that it's not going to be so smoky on me. It's just a good everyday palette. So that was number 10. Number 9, all amethyst. Just amethyst is one of my daughter's middle names. The purples in here, the richness, the formula of this. This is just pretty. This is a good palette. I love this palette. And it's an everyday, it's a wearable purple. I don't look at this and go, ah, that's scary. I look at this and go, yeah, I will wear that. I will get use out of that, and I will enjoy wearing it. So, all amethyst, number 9. Number 8 is Lucky Penny. This is one of my favorites. Obviously, it's number 8. I love the richness. I love the depth of this. You can't see it probably because of the reflections, but everyone needs this palette. This is just the richness. This is just amazing. I love the packaging. I love the glitters in there. But you're just going to get a good look out of it. Number 8, Lucky Penny. Number 7, that's taupe. We all need a good taupe palette. Again, you're going to get a lot of use out of this. This is an everyday palette. Cool. If you love cool tones, this is a cool lover's dream. Just take a look at that. It's just... How many of you have this palette? Comment down below if you've got this. And if you don't, why don't you? Number 6, Not a Box of Chocolates. We've all heard about this. We all love this palette. It's just a good neutral palette. You know, and the theming, the chocolates, you look at it and you're like, that is a box of chocolates. I want a box of chocolates. I want to eat this palette, but I'm not going to. But just the good range of shades, good depth. You're going to get multiple looks out of this. This is a wealth without palette. Colourpop did amazing with this palette, from the packaging, from the formula, from the variety of shades. Yes, it's, you know, technically it's browns and it's neutrals, but there's lights, there's blending shades, there's transition, there's depth. You can get a smoky, you can do it all with this palette. It is a good palette. That is why it was number 6. Oh my God, guys, top 5. Here we go. We're into the top 5. So number 5, Blow and Smoke. I love this palette. It is renamed. I can't remember what it was called, but if you want smokiness, if you want silver, if you want grungy, this is it. 9 pan, but you get these whites. This is just like yin and yang. You got the whites, you got the blacks, you got the greys. You can see yourself in there. Hi, guys. But this is just a nice palette. You know, even when my daughter was looking at it the other day, she was like, that's a cool palette. I like that palette. Yeah, Blow and Smoke. Number 5. Number 4, how many people's favourite is Going Coconuts? We all know it. We all love it. Of course it's in my collection. Of course it's ranking high in my collection. This is just pretty. These shimmers in here, just the formula, it just sparks so much joy. This shimmer here all over the lid, it is just beautiful. It's just such a good palette. These old ones in the plastic, they're just so good. They're so good. But we have a 9 pan that's ranking higher, and that is Of Quartz. This is just a good palette. Obviously, it's number 3. So, Of Quartz. Just again, the range from the lights to the mediums to the darks, you get a good smoky eye. It's a good everyday. You can wear this to work. You can pop it in your bag, you can whack in a darker colour, you can smoke it up, you can make it more sultry. Just with a 9 pan, this is a good palette. You're going to get everything you want out of this. Number 2, right, number 2 is Bare Necessities. Again, some people don't like these big pans, but this is just neutral lover's dream. Neutral lovers, eat your heart out. The variety in here, they're just so good. And speaking of that, I'm just going to jump into my number 1 because I feel like they're just sisters. This Stone Cold Fox, it's my baby. It's my pride and joy. Stone Cold Fox. This silver up here, like it just sparks joy. Your eye is drawn to that. Cold lover's dream. Cool toned lover's dream. Cold lovers. Cold Stone Cold Fox. It is winter here. So I just think these two together. These were my first Colourpop purchases. I brought these together. It was in a deal called Bold and Bear, and I just thought this was all I was going to buy from Colourpop. I was going to buy these two and to try them out because I'd heard great things and be done with it and be happy. And now 87 palettes later and the collection grows. It starts from these two. These are the reason I love Colourpop. These have everything you're ever going to need in palettes. If you're going to get 2 palettes from Colourpop and you just want a good variety without having colours, then get these. These mega palettes. This has everything you need. So number 2 is Bare Necessities and number 1 is Stone Cold Fox. So we've made it. We're at the end. That is my ranking. I can't believe I am alive. I can't believe you've watched this. If you have and you've watched it all the way to the end, comment cat. Comment cat. I know that's a boring word, but I love cats. I have cats. And yeah, so if you watched all the way to the end, comment cat. Also, importantly, what is your favourite Colourpop palette? And are there any palettes on the Colourpop website that you think I should have? You've now seen my whole collection. What should I have? I do have a wand. I do want to add Aurora Struck to my collection. Is there anything else? Surprise me. Tell me. Step out of your comfort zone, Mel. You need this palette in your collection. So let me know. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I am now out of breath. I'm exhausted. I've now talked too much. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.